Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mea Arroyo and I teach creative people how to sell their art online. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the 3 options to basically do print on demand or POD. And when I talk about the 3 ways to do print on demand, I'm not talking about Redbubble or Society6 or, Redbubble versus Teechip or TeePublic. No. I mean the 3 main general ways you can incorporate print on demand as your passive income business for this year and for the years to come. And I feel like this sort of general video is a way to get you focused on what you want to do, how you want to do it in. And it's also a great way for you guys to tell me what more in-depth videos you would like to see on each and every one of these topics. But before we get started on this how can I print on demand video, I would like to say 3 things. The first one is that this is the last video that I'll be doing in this apartment. I am moving apartments for a temporary apartment in Modi'in, which is next to Jerusalem, in, I think it's like 2 days. So today's Saturday, so I'm moving on Monday. So this is the last video that I'm doing in front of my closet or next to my bed or any kind of, very, very spontaneous placing that I've chosen in this apartment. And it's quite funny because I'm having a video on April 6th and I still don't know how the background's going to be looking like or how the light is going to be. So it's kind of nice for me, kind of exciting. This is the apartment that I started my YouTube channel on, which is almost 3 months old. The second announcement for those of you who are watching this as a live premiere, this is not a live YouTube video. I am not actually talking right now. I'm actually sitting on my sofa later on this evening and watching this pre-recorded video along with you guys. The reason why I'm doing my videos on live premiere is to be able to connect with you guys better using the live chat that is available on live premieres in one of these directions. I'm not sure. Sometimes my camera flips it over and sometimes it doesn't, so I never know which way the live chat is going to be. So if you're watching this as a live premiere, don't worry about writing to me in the live chat. You're not bothering me in any way and you're not ruining the video for me. I'm not actually talking right now. But if you have questions that are deep and meaningful, like questions that I need to basically answer to you guys in more than a sentence and a half, please do that in the comment section below and not in the live chat. Also, if you have video suggestions of things you want to see more about, because I'm going to drop in a lot of topics here right now in this video. So if there is any specific topic or idea you want me to make a video about, leave your comment down below in the comment section because the live chat goes poof once the conversation is done and I'm hardly going to remember it. I always look back in my comments for some of my videos just to know what people want to see when I do my schedule for next month. And the third announcement is actually going to be more at the end of this video because we have a special guest joining us in April 12th and I would like you to guess who that is, but more on that when we finish this video. So let's just start by leveling it up when we say POD or print on demand. Print on demand services, platforms, suppliers, whatever you want to call them, are basically companies that have warehouses and fulfillment centers worldwide and create a variety of products. Try to imagine a blank product, like a white blanket that you can use, and then you slap on a design. They create a mock-up, which is sort of a virtual image of how this product is going to be, and then when someone orders it, that supplier, that company, creates that product for you and ships it to the client. There are 3 ways to basically work with print-on-demand companies because there are print-on-demand companies that created a full shop for themselves. There are print-on-demand suppliers that don't have a marketplace. And there are also marketplaces that can integrate with print-on-demand suppliers like Etsy. So in today's video, we're going to be going over the 3 main ways to basically do print-on-demand, which is on print-on-demand platforms that are marketplaces like Redbubble, Society6, Fine Art America, Zazzle, Art of Wear, Teechip, TeePublic, and I believe they call themselves Spring now, or whatever Teespring used to be, including merch by Amazon. And those platforms are basically the supplier, the maker, the shipper, and the shop itself. The second way to do print on demand would be by combining a supplier with your own website and shop. That supplier could be Printful, Printify, Gooten. That supplier could also be one of those marketplaces because Fine Art America, for example, or Art of Wear can combine with those specific shop building websites like Shopify, WooCommerce, Squarespace, and the list is really, really long. The third way to do print on demand is basically combining a marketplace and a supplier, which means taking that external supplier like Art of Wear or Printful and combining it with a marketplace called Etsy and opening an Etsy shop there. However, with these three options, we just have more questions. How much is it going to cost me? How much control do you have over your branding? What does the client know about this? What does the client think? Who does he think is supplying their products? Who does he think is responsible and liable for product quality? Can you even choose your product quality? What about topic restrictions and community guidelines? And what about the database of the people who are purchasing from you? And I think that just above all that, which way is better for you? So we're going to be talking about all of that in this video. The first question most people ask is how much this is going to cost me. And with print-on-demand platforms that are marketplaces like Redbubble and Society6, it's not going to cost you anything. But each one of these platforms has its own rules in terms of how many products you can upload per day, how many designs you can upload per day. And even though it is free, some of these platforms, like the one we talked about yesterday, Fine Art America, has a paid membership program to basically upgrade yourself and your business and portfolio. But what about the prices of doing print-on-demand external suppliers combined with your own shop, which is pretty easy? That would be the cost of the platform. Shopify's cheapest option is $29 a month plus the cost of buying your own domain. If you choose to work with WordPress, which is WooCommerce, that would be a domain plus hosting. And basically each and every one of these platforms has their own prices. I'm not going to show off all these prices for two reasons. One, prices change. So if you're watching this video a year from now, I would still like for it to be relevant instead of misleading. And the second reason is actually quite simple. If you are going to take your print on demand seriously, if you're going to take this as a business, go onto these websites, go onto these suppliers, see who they integrate with, go to these platforms and see how much they're going to cost you. Do your own research. I kind of made it a rule for me a long time ago to never trust anyone when it comes to these prices. Because what if I'm looking at this and I have a sale? What if I have a coupon code that I don't know exists? What does it even matter? If I want to know how much something is going to cost me, I'm going to go in and check all the fees. So the basics would be $29 for Shopify, and WooCommerce will depend on your hosting platform, which can take you $100 for 4 months, like Hostinger takes me, or some other platforms that charge you $10 or $12 per month. So it's really up to which platform you choose and how you're going to do it. And the third option, which is combining print-on-demand suppliers with Etsy, the cost is simple. Joining Etsy is free, but uploading products to Etsy is 20 cents per listing. That means 20 cents per listing one time, which means that if the product is being sold or 4 months have passed, you will have to renew the listing for an added 20 cents. If you are considering opening an Etsy store, I have maybe something that can help you a bit along the way. I have a link down below in the video for 40 free listings for Etsy. If you're just opening your shop, this link basically means you get 40 listings if you're opening your shop with this link. And if you do, I get 40 listings for free myself, and it doesn't cost each of us any money. So it's a cool way for Etsy to basically have other Etsy sellers on the platform, encourage other people to open an Etsy store. However, we do have a lot more fees on Etsy, but they are non-existent at the stage of opening the shop. You have your choices of joining Etsy premium memberships, which I don't talk about in my videos because I've never done it, so I don't like talking about things that I'm not 100% sure about. The second topic of comparison between these three options is branding. And when we're talking about branding in your own Redbubble shop, Society6 shop, it's pretty much non-existent. Yes, you can add your photo. Yes, you can create a cover photo, but you have no control over the platform of their logo. And basically you are inside Redbubble branded with Redbubble. If you are opening your own shop using print-on-demand suppliers, you have full control over the branding. You can decide the colors of the website, the fonts of the website, you can control how it looks on mobile and desktop. You can basically do whatever you want. And when we're talking about print-on-demand suppliers combining with Etsy Marketplace, it's sort of a mix between the two. Because while you cannot control the fonts used or the fact that Etsy is orange, and you do have the same option as Redbubble, like adding your own profile picture, your logo, and your banner, you also have control over the mockups. When it comes to Redbubble, the mockups are created automatically, same as in each platform. But with Etsy, you can create your mockups manually and add your branding to those mockups. And it's actually quite recommended. And I keep seeing it with clients that I've had who do print-on-demand t-shirts and other clothes or fashion items, when they basically just take the size chart from Printful and just put it on Etsy. No, recreate the size chart with your own branding and with your own style and give this a bit of a personal look. But again, when it comes to branding, the only way to truly brand your business would be with your own website. Moving on to the next topic, which is what happens when a sale is made. So on websites like Redbubble, Society6, Fine Art America, basically all these print-on-demand marketplaces, what happens when a sale is made? You just get commission. Sometimes you get the commission instantly, sometimes you will get it at the 15th of the month, sometimes you'll have a minimum bar that you need to exceed in order to get your payment, but you basically just get the commission. In some of these platforms, you have full control over the commission, like Redbubble, where you could just write down whatever prices you want for each individual item, for all of your items, for each separate design. And with some of these platforms, you have no control, or some of these platforms, you have half the control over some products and zero control on the rest, like Society6 that basically splits it up. So you can price your own art, but the shower curtains and curtains would be the same amount of money. With print-on-demand suppliers using your own website, what happens when a sale is made is that you get money from the customer. The customer pays you the amount of money that you wrote on your listing, which includes the shipping and the overall end price of that product. And once you get money from the client, you pay the supplier the amount that it costs to make and ship the item. So for example, if a t-shirt costs $15 to make and $10 to ship, I'm just giving out, blank numbers here, and you price it in your store for $25, you'll make $0. But if you price it with $25 plus the shipping costs, you will basically be making the added $10. So what happens is that you get money, but you also pay money, which is a reason why a lot of the people that I know sort of fail in this business, because they put their credit card to be able to pay Printful, for example, but they get the money from their clients on PayPal. And PayPal takes time to take the money into the account. So if your store is successful at the beginning, you end up paying a lot of money for the products, and then you get the money from the buyers. So if you're doing this option, you might want to consider starting slowly and making sure that your credit card or payment services have a large enough frame, or whatever it's called in your country, or credit, to be able to actually pay for these products that people are paying you for. On top of that, and based on the platform that you chose, you will also be paying processing fees. And this same goes for Etsy. If you're using print-on-demand suppliers with Etsy, you'll get the money from the client to your Etsy account, but instantly pay money to the supplier of the print-on-demand product, and also pay Etsy fees, which honestly, go on to Etsy fees and look into them. They have so many shipping fees and shipping labels and processing fees. And sometimes they also have their options for the ads that they promote you with, which they take 15% fees if a sale is being made from them. So really go and do your research on Etsy, because I know a lot of people who started print on demand with Etsy and ended up losing money. Moving on to, what does the buyer know and how do they get their products? So if you're starting your shop on Redbubble, the buyer knows that they're getting the products from Redbubble. They will be getting an envelope or a package from Redbubble labeled by Redbubble, and they may or may not know or remember who they got it from in terms of the artist. And even more so, let's say I go onto Redbubble and I order 5 t-shirts from 5 different artists. I will most likely get them in the same package. Same as when I ordered a bunch of stickers from Redbubble and I got them all in the same envelope, even though I ordered them from my own shop and from about 15 other sellers. By the way, you can go ahead and check out my Redbubble stickers review, as well as my review over other products that I've ordered from Redbubble for my own shop. With your own website or shop using an external print-on-demand supplier, the buyer only knows you. The buyer is not going to know Printful, and they're not going to know Guten. They know that they are ordering from your shop and your business. You are the only person in their eyes liable for the quality and for the shipping times. And moving on to, of course, the last option for this one is Etsy plus external suppliers, which in that case, it's sort of both. Because on one hand, some people, when they order from an Etsy shop and they have problems, they will contact the seller. But sometimes when people order from an Etsy shop and they have problems, they will just turn to Etsy because they do believe that Etsy is the owner of that shop. And it's not just that. If I ordered a cool mug from a store on Etsy, and I'm not an Etsy seller, and I'm not in this business for a million years like print on demand and online marketplaces, most people, when asked, where did you get that mug from, would say, from Etsy, even though Etsy itself has no products. So in terms of what does the client know about your Etsy shop, some clients would know that you are the owner of this shop, and some clients would just say they got it on Etsy. Moving on to mockup options. When you're working with Redbubble, Society6, or all kinds of these other platforms, you basically have just their mockup options. Yes, you can create your own mockups using Placeit, but you can't put these mockups on that platform. You will only have their mockups on their platform, and you can't do anything about it. When it comes to opening your own website with print-on-demand services, you have full control over the mockups, and not just full control over the mockups in terms of the models or the scenery, but you can also upload full product photos without a background at all. With a black background, you can make them horizontal, vertical, small, big, full squared, and change them between the products and really make it your own. You can even create mock-up photos that have frames on them or whatever it is that you want. And now that we're talking about print-on-demand suppliers using Etsy Marketplace, it's sort of, again, in the middle, because you can go out and make your own mockups, but you need your mockups to be at least 200 pixels wide for the platform to take you seriously. You also need to make sure that your featured image is horizontal or looks good on a horizontal scape, because that's what Etsy shows people on the search engine. So it's sort of, you have this control over the mockups, but you still need to make sure that the mockup you create fits Etsy. Moving on to database, because database is important. What do you know about the people who are buying from you? Because if you're selling on a platform, most odds you'll only know maybe their name, maybe where they're from, and what they bought. You have no control over looking into their data, knowing exactly what their email address is, where they live. Sometimes you don't even know their names. But when you're doing print on demand on your own website, you have full control and basically all the data you can have on that buyer. When you're doing print on demand with external services and Etsy, it's sort of in the middle, because you might have a way to contact the buyer. You might know the details about where they live, but you won't have them as an emailing list, or maybe don't even have their email, because you'll have sort of their Etsy mail. Moving on to a relating topic, which is contact with your buyers. If you're selling on a platform like Redbubble, Society6, or Find Out America, people can send you sometimes messages, like Redbubble has their Bubble Mail. But if a user that wasn't logged into their Redbubble account sent you a Bubble Mail, you won't be able to reply to them. You won't even know who they are. You will have zero options to contact and basically speak to your buyers or potential buyers, or people won't be able to contact you. If they want to contact someone, they will contact Redbubble. If they want to ask about a quality of something, they will contact Redbubble. But if you're doing this with your own supplier and own shop, you will have full access to be able to contact your buyers at any time, send them emailing lists, send them your special promotions, and basically have them subscribe to get notices from you, and know more about your brand. And when it comes to Etsy, you can contact buyers using the Etsy message board, but I do believe that Etsy sometimes frowns upon trying to contact your buyers directly for no reason other than, talking about their Etsy store. you do have different options within these platforms because, for example, Fine Art America, if you opt in for their premium membership for $30 a year, you do have the option to send in emails for people or create your own newsletter list from this platform. But in no way do these platforms even match the options that you have for contacting and basically creating a relationship with potential customers on your own website and domain. And what about sales and coupon codes? Can you run a sale? Well, on Redbubble, you can't. You can minimize your own commissions to basically create a cheaper product, but you have no control over their sales. The good thing about Redbubble is that they run their own sales and their own promotion, and you can actually piggy bank on those and promote them. Like I did for, I think it was a month ago when I posted a video that Redbubble has a 20% off on their entire website. So you can go ahead and promote that. But you don't have any control on creating your own coupon codes or sales. Some of these platforms do give you control, like Fine Art America, when you create a sale, which is basically taken off from your commission. Combining print-on-demand services with your own shop or with Etsy gives you the options to basically give out a sale, give out percentage off per quantity, and create coupon codes as much as you want. And for our next topic, on-site competition. Because do you know how many people sell on Redbubble? Do you know how many people sell on Etsy? Do you know how many people sell the exact same product as you on these amazing marketplaces? Some of them with print-on-demand fulfillment and some of them with external suppliers. Because there are a lot of competition. If you're on Redbubble, Society6, Zazzle, Teachip, TeePublic, Merch by Amazon, Fine Art America, and the list is long, you have so much competition. And the problem is, your competition is right there with you. So when you bring in traffic from Instagram or from Pinterest, you can basically be contributing to someone else making a sale. Which is one of the reasons why I made the video yesterday about Fine Art America, because their combination and basically their upgrade when they switched on to being pixels was to give you your own free website so you can promote that website without competition on it. But again, that free website is for the premium membership with $30 a year. Now, when you have your own shop and when you have your own print-on-demand suppliers on your own platform, you have zero competition on your own platform. You don't have anyone else appearing. So, for example, if someone is going to your shop and they're looking at a floral dress on Redbubble, they might see below on that page that same dress designed with a floral pattern by different sellers. But if you're doing this on your own platform and your own website, if a person scrolls down when looking at a pretty t-shirt, they will see whatever you want them to see. They will see more of your t-shirts, or they will see this design on different products, or both. When it comes to Etsy, it's basically the same as Redbubble. You have zero control over what people see when they scroll down from your product. So you can, in fact, get traffic in, work really hard on marketing, and contribute to a competitor's sale. And what about quality control? I mean, if you choose a print-on-demand external supplier to work with your own shop or integrated with your Etsy shop, you can pre-order samples and try out different types of t-shirts, different types of suppliers, and see the quality of the t-shirts, the sizes, the fitting, how the fabric feels in your hands, as well as the printing quality. And obviously, it's not just t-shirts. It could also be mugs and phone cases. And you have that control over the quality because you can choose your supplier. But if you're on Redbubble and you order something and discover that it's low quality, you have no control over it. The only thing you can do is move on to a different platform. And while we're talking about quality control, what about topic control? And I'm not saying, go ahead and make Adidas t-shirts or Louis Vuitton t-shirts because that's illegal on any platform. But for example, some platforms have guidelines in terms of what you can and can't write on a t-shirt. Some platforms chose to eliminate all political aspects of anything. Some platforms have keywords that are flagged for copyright even though you've used them in a different way. And some platforms just don't like a certain topic to be mentioned on their platform, which is their right. Which means that when you go onto print-on-demand marketplaces or integrate with Etsy, you need to check those marketplaces and Etsy for their community guidelines on what you can and cannot design and sell on their platform. But when you're doing this with your own shop, you're the only person that determines the content. You can have a full shop filled with curses and swears and political agendas and whatever you want to do, as long as it's not hate speech, which could get you flagged by certain governments, or as long as it's not copyrighted. However, there is a small plus to it because, for example, Redbubble has a partnership program that allows you to legally design things relating to TV shows and movies, which doesn't really apply if you have your own shop. So, for example, if you love watching the show Dexter, which is a part of Redbubble's partnership program, and I hope that I'm right because I checked that like a year ago. I hope that I'm right. Don't catch me on Dexter. So, on Redbubble, you can design things for Dexter and have the Dexter people approve that design for sale or not. You can also technically do it with your own shop or on Etsy, but if you do it on your own shop or on Etsy, that would be a copyright violation and you could get sued or taken down from a platform. And all of these topics combined basically leads to one topic or one issue, which is ownership. It might sound weird for a person who spent years on end creating beautiful designs, either photographs of their oil paintings, or digital art, and uploaded them onto marketplaces that are print on demand like Redbubble and Society6, or integrated them into Etsy, but you don't own your own shop. Etsy owns your shop if you have a shop on Etsy. Redbubble owns your shop if you have a shop on Redbubble, and they can shut you down at any time. They can shut you down for violating rules you didn't know exist or for ignoring the rules, and they can also shut you down if they have a bug or a problem or an issue, and your entire business is relying on them. When you do have your own website, you're the person who owns it. But it also gets tricky here. If you build your own website, your own shop integrated with Printful, for example, on Shopify, you always have to have a Shopify store. If you build it using Wix, you always have to have a Wix membership. The only way to truly own something is to have your own hosting and domain by using an open source like Squarespace, Magento, or WooCommerce, which is my personal favorite because I'm a WordPress girl all the way. With all of that being said, how do you choose a platform? How do you choose where to go? And for that, you can start by simply answering the question, do you have money to start with? Because if you have zero money to start with this one, the only action you have is to go to print-on-demand marketplaces that are completely free, like Redbubble, Society6, Zazzle, and all those. If you have a little bit of money, you might want to start with Etsy because the upfront costs are easier, I guess, than just opening your shop. The second thing to consider when you want to choose between these options is your learning curve and what do you currently know. Because if you don't know how to build a website, and if you don't know how to design a website and make sure it looks good on a mobile, if you don't know how to design your own banners, then maybe opening your own website or a Shopify store could be quite difficult to start with. I do know that a lot of people start with Shopify because they are easier to start with than probably any other platform for building up your own website because their shops are automated. You also have a huge learning curve when it comes to marketing. And if I'm taking Etsy as a low-cost platform that is basically built up for you, and I integrate it with Printful, let's say I have 60 designs. I can create with these 60 designs on Redbubble that will appear on top of 80 products at the same time. But if I have to do it on Etsy, I have to do it manually. So I'll basically be having 60 t-shirts and then 60 mugs and basically recreate them as I go along based on the product and not on the design, which takes a lot more time and a lot more money. And I do believe that the current knowledge that you have as a person and the time you have for learning and educating yourself will be the determining factor here. Because I've seen incredibly talented people who make beautiful art and know nothing about marketing or website development. And my advice to them always was the same. Start with a platform that is print on demand. Because once you just take these designs and upload them on, you instantly have mockups that you can take onto social media and learn marketing hands-on. Because that's the best way to learn if something is good at marketing, by actually uploading it. So being on Redbubble or Society6 will instantly give you a lot of items, a lot of instant mockups that you can start promoting and see if people on social media even like your products. It's the best way to start learning your marketing because you instantly have products. Similar thing might be said with Etsy if you're opening a very niche store around, just mugs or just t-shirts or just keychains or whatever print-on-demand products you could find with external suppliers. By the way, would you like me to make a video about like all the print-on-demand products you could find with external suppliers? Because some of them might be interesting, because I've seen like necklaces and keychains and bracelets and fabrics and kimonos and really, really cool stuff. So if you want me to make a video that includes, I wouldn't say all, but all the print-on-demand products that I know exist with external suppliers, please let me know in the comments section below. Another approach that I know a lot of people do is take the same design and upload them onto several free platforms. So you can basically take your own designs and just by tweaking the sizes to fit the different products, upload them onto Redbubble, Fine Art America, Society6, and multiple platforms. But what if you don't have the same designs or you don't have the same design concept? Because, for example, I like illustrating watercolor digital sketches, but I also love photography and I also like graphic design. So I can take my graphically designed t-shirts or graphically designed text designs and upload them onto Redbubble, choosing Redbubble as a platform for that. I can take my photography and upload it to Fine Art America or just open my own website to sell print-on-demand photography. And I can take my watercolor sketches and open an Etsy store with them or a Society6 store with them. So it's sort of like a divide and conquer between the things that you love to do and your artistic styles. Because if you would have on your same shop in the same place these multiple concepts, that might not be a good idea. And one last idea. Let's say you have a Redbubble shop, a Society6 shop, or even your own platform. When you do have beautiful designs that you sell on products, you can take those same designs and sell them as digital items on Etsy. I made a full video with over 20 business ideas for digital download items on Etsy. So you can sort of combine having a print-on-demand with a digital download business. You can also have digital download businesses using Shopify or WooCommerce. And if you would like me to make a video about that, please let me know in the comments section below. And with that being said, we're all done. Now, I don't know what about you guys, but I am such a notebook person. So I actually have everything written down here. And I do hope that you wouldn't find me pretentious by saying it. But the same thing that I did here, you can do too. So once the live premiere is done, just refresh the video. Or if you're not watching this on the live premiere, just refresh the video, take a pen and take a notebook or a piece of paper and create this chart for you. Because once you have that information all placed together, it will be easier for you to make a decision. It will be easier for you to go and say, okay, so I need to check the quality. So what are the print-on-demand options? What are the suppliers? So I need to check this or I need to check this. And you will basically have half of your way already figured out. And with that being said, what did you think? I'm actually quite excited of listening to your opinions on this. You can feel free to write this in the live chat. Which options do you think are best for you? Which options are you doing at the moment? Which options would you like to explore more? Which options would you like to know? Which ones of them do I do? And just make a chat about this, comment about this, and let me know what you guys think about these options or which option you would like me to focus more on my future videos. And for the last part of the video, the announcement that I promised at the beginning, which is about our sort of guest or the person I'll be interviewing or hosting on this channel on April 12th, which is this person. Who is it? Can you guess? Because she will be coming here on April 12th to share some of her knowledge about print-on-demand and KDP, and I do believe that you are going to like her. So feel free to guess around until the 6th of April, because on the 6th of April, once I'm relocated to my new temporary apartment, I will make a video filling up the blanks about what we're going to have later on this month, including a video from this woman in terms of who she is, where she works, and why is she coming here to talk about print-on-demand and KDP, as well as giving you the options to send me questions to ask her when we record our interview on April 12th. If you like this video, please hit that like button down below, because every time you do, YouTube thinks, hey, this is a cool video and I'm going to show it to more people. Subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. I can't wait for 1,000 subscribers to do my Ask Me Anything video, which will allow you to grill me about my personal life and professional life as much as you want. With that being said, thank you to this weird apartment that I'm in. Thank you to the closet that has been my background for such a long time. And thank you for southern part of Israel. And I don't know if any of you know it, but I'm actually living right now about 2 kilometers from Gaza. You haven't seen it, but in a lot of my videos, I had to edit out like explosions in the background. It was actually kind of fun. And it's been an amazing 6 months that I've been here. Obviously not on this channel, because this channel is not 3 months old. It's soon going to be 3 months old on April 7th. And I'm saying goodbye to this apartment in the next 2 days. I'm feeling kind of emotional. And I also need to pack everything up and figure out where my life is headed, because I will be in Modi'in, which is next to Jerusalem, for about a month. And then I need to decide if I'm coming back to find an apartment in southern parts of Israel, or if I am relocating back to Europe, given the fact that I've lived in Europe and I was in Europe when COVID started, and that's when I came here. So it's pretty exciting for me, and I feel like if it's going to be like a year from now, I'm going to be looking at these videos and kind of missing that apartment. So say goodbye to my closet and say goodbye to the specific and really bad lighting that I have here. And that is it from me for today. The live chat will end in 3, 2, 1, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!